Thank you, Kenneth. Such a perfect song for today. Because the only limits that we have are the limits that we put on ourselves. And we're going to get rid of those today. We're going to do a burning bowl. And that's what that piece of paper is that everybody has on your chair. You can use that. We're going to release. And as a result of releasing something, we create space for something else. And that space is going to be filled up with whatever comes through us. And we're going to write it on a white stone. So I'm kind of giving you what's going to happen in today's service. But think about, we're going to go into a little bit of a meditation, and I'm going to guide you through all of it. But you may want to think about what is it that you need to forgive? What is it that you need to let go of? What is it that's getting in your way? Is it a pattern? Is it a belief system? Is it a behavior? Is it a thought? And that's what you're going to write on your piece of paper. We're going to go into a meditation and asking. So we're going to go to that place within that Maria was talking about. She called it Christ. It could be your higher consciousness. It could be love. It could be God. It's the light that is within each and every one of us. And at Unity, we call that light Christ, the Christ light. But it's what makes us connected to one another. And it's that light that tells us what is in our highest good. And not only in the highest good for us, but the highest good for everybody around us. So we're going to write on this piece of paper, and we're going to bring the paper down. I'm going to ask that as we do this, that everyone stays in silence. Even once you come back up, you stay in the silence. Kenneth will be playing a little bit of light music, but it's going to be silent. This is really a contemplative and meditative practice. And as you drop your denial or your whatever it is that you need to let go of into the burning bowl, we want you to repeat, and I'll be down there saying it so you can repeat it after me. This condition is no longer a part of my life. God's love now makes me free. And as the fire transforms the energy contained on the paper into heat energy, so your act of willingness releases the seemingly power that this condition has had in your life and transforms that power into the purging fire of spirit that lives within each and every one of us. And then as you come back into the sanctuary, still not talking, please pick up a stone, and Maria's going to be there to help you, but pick up a stone that you're called to pick up, and there's also pens there. You're going to need a pen. And silently return to your seat in silent contemplation. So let's prepare for our release. I'm going to share an affirmation, and then we're going to say it together. And the affirmation is, I am free from the past, the mistakes of the past, and the results of past mistakes. I know the truth, and the truth makes me free. So repeat after me. I am free from the past.
I am free from the past.
The mistakes of the past.
The mistakes of the past.
And the results of past mistakes.
And the results of past mistakes.
I know truth.
I know truth.
And the truth makes me free.
And the truth makes me free.
So let's sit in the silence and open our minds and change our hearts and be guided to write that which we need to release. And when we're done, please proceed silently downstairs and outside to the burning bowl.
release, I know, I receive, I let go, I release, I know, love, joy, peace, love, joy, peace. I receive, I let go, I release, I know, love, joy, peace. I allow, I surrender, I allow, I surrender, I allow, I surrender, I allow, I surrender, I receive, I let go, I release, I know, love, peace. I allow, I surrender, I allow, I surrender, I allow, I surrender, I allow, I surrender, I receive, I
Welcome back. Everybody feel a little lighter, a little empty? Good, because we got something now that's going to fill that space. We're going to have our white stone ceremony. We celebrate the presence of God within us, the one who guides us to love ourselves for who we are created to be, based only in love. As you hold your white stone in your hand, know that you are starting with a clean slate. Spiritual creation always begins at the ground of your being, in the stillness of your body, in silence. In unity, the way we want to make change in our life is by taking on a new empowered thought. So this word that comes to you through meditation is going to guide you in your thinking for today and hopefully for the rest of the year. Our souls are ancient, right? Do you get the sense of that? That there's a deeper part of you that is ancient, but also being made anew at the same time, every day, every minute, every hour. This is a spiritual paradox that makes us into the mystery of God. These stones are ancient. This ceremony is ancient. It has ancient roots. And during this ceremony, we're setting our intentions for the new year with the help of the highest mind within us, our highest consciousness. And as we go into meditation, rather than focusing on what we will do over the next year, focus on who we are called to be in order to birth the emerging vision of our highest essence. Who are you called to be to birth the emerging vision of your highest essence? In meditation, you will hear or be guided to one or two words which represent what your higher self desires to see expressing through you. If you do not hear a word or sense a word during meditation, it will come. Continue to listen over the next day, and I assure you, you will be guided. Hold your stone and remember you are starting with a clean slate. This white stone represents that clean slate. It signifies our freedom. In Revelations, we had two promises. To those who have ears, let them hear what Spirit says. To those who overcome, I will give hidden manna to eat, and I will give them a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. To those who have ears, let them hear what Spirit says. We are being guided to listen, to get out of our head and listen to our heart through prayer and meditation. Sit in silence and listen to Spirit, not with your outer ears, but with your inner ear, the ear that hears that still small voice. Go within and surrender to what Spirit whispers to you, because only in surrendering do we conquer and experience victory. When we surrender to Spirit, we are given the peace that surpasses all understanding, and we are given an entirely new source of energy and nourishment. When we receive this word, it is like nourishment from God. It nourishes the soul first, and then the body, which benefits our whole being. Prayer and meditation are the ways that we take the journey from our heads to our hearts and back to our heads again. The next part of the verse and the first promise is, to those who overcome, I will give some of the hidden manna. To all who see beyond the appearances, I will give all that is needed to give. To anyone who conquers for us as followers of Spirit, it is not an outer war, but an inner war that requires our surrender, for us to be in the world, but not of the world. And yet, how many times have we not surrendered to that sweet Spirit that calls us in every moment? But when we do surrender to Spirit and we go within, and only then do we conquer. In surrendering, there is victory. Not on an outer surrender or an outer victory, but an inner surrender, the inner victory of letting go and letting God be God in me and through me. The second promise, and I will give a white stone, and on that white stone is written a new name that one knows, that no one knows except the one who receives it. This was the time when it was believed that people had to overcome and had made their connection with the divine, and it is then that they are given a new name. That name is written on the white stone. The name is given to them directly from God. We do this at the beginning of the year because in the first century in Palestine, it was often the practice to give a white stone to prisoners when they were released as a symbol of their freedom. As long as they had this white stone, they could always prove that they had paid for their crime, and they were assured of freedom. It was the beginning, and a new year represents this new beginning in us. When a name is changed in the Bible, it signifies a shift in consciousness and a transformation of that purpose. Saul of Tarsus prosecuted the followers of Jesus until he experienced a revelation from Jesus and was filled with Holy Spirit. He then became Paul the Apostle because he was no longer the same person he had been before. In this white stone ceremony today, we are allowing the Spirit to give us a new name, a new thought, a new idea, a new symbol. We are entering a purified state of consciousness where we know God the Father and I are one. So as we open and allow Spirit to speak to us in this silence, we make space for the unlimited possibilities that Kenneth was talking about to become manifest in our lives. It is important that this comes from Spirit and not your ego. So does everyone have a stone? And everyone has a pen? Okay. You don't have do you have a stone or a pen?
We'll give you one of ours, Joe.
So here are a few questions to consider as we go into meditation. Am I willing to listen to my inner guidance that will give me some information, a theme, a name, an idea that will forward my evolution of consciousness in the coming year? Am I willing to allow myself to experience new possibilities and new freedom? Am I willing to acknowledge that this is the year the deepest yearnings of my heart really can manifest, and that I am worthy and deserving of God's richest blessings? If you don't already have your eyes closed or lowered, please lower your gaze. Arrange yourself so you're comfortable in your seat. Connect to that inner voice. Draw on that nourishing revitalization, restoring breath and source within your being. Feel the weight of your stone. There is something waiting to be revealed, and this stone in your hand represents that new beginning, a fresh start. Every moment you are born anew. We are not defined by our past. We are constantly being born anew. Let us go into the silence and just notice what shows up. And listen to Kenneth for a few moments.
Think on these things. Whatever is honest, whatever is true, whatever speaks to good in you, whatever is lovely, whatever is just, whatever speaks to God in us, whatever of virtue, whatever of praise, whatever speaks of holy ways, think on these things. Think on these things. Whatever is perfect, whatever is kind, whatever speaks to higher mind, whatever is healing, whatever is right, whatever speaks of love and light, whatever of virtue, whatever of praise, whatever speaks of holy ways, think on these things, these things, think on these things, think on these things.
As you come back to this room, stay connected to your heart. Whatever the word or the theme, please write it on your stone. If no word came, it does not mean you didn't do anything wrong. It doesn't mean it won't come, but it will. Your higher self, your inner wisdom will not keep the next step of your unfoldment a secret from you. It will be revealed in perfect timing. Once you have written your word on your stone, gaze upon your stone. Notice the sacred quality of having something being expressed from your own inner intuition, your own Christ consciousness, your own God mind that is being uniquely expressed as you. As you go about the days and weeks and months ahead, this beautiful year of 2025, have this stone somewhere you can see it and call to mind this beautiful quality, this capacity of the divine that is seeking to be expressed through you. Know that whatever you have written on your stone can be expressed because you already own it. This is your higher self saying, this is already who you are. See this stone as a symbol of new life. A stone, a symbol of who you will become. Feel the presence of God and know your oneness with God. Feel that loving presence of God surround you and supporting you. The Christ in each one of us says, I make all things anew. We have freed ourselves to live more fully, conscious of the activity of the whole Spirit of God in every aspect of our lives and the creative life force. In this recognition, we free ourselves to live more fully, releasing ourselves from bondage, the prison of limiting thoughts about ourselves, each other, and our world. Anytime you look upon your white stone, realize you have the right of choice, the gift to live differently, to live a more fulfilling life and begin again and again to connect with God and co-create with God. Allow a thankfulness to flow over you and receive this new word, this new name, this new attitude. Along with it comes the power and guidance to achieve all that we desire. I invite you to carry this stone as a reminder of that promise of your freedom. Let us bless our stones. Loving God, let these stones represent our willingness to create ourselves anew as we go into this new year. We release to you all that does not serve our highest good, and we affirm our willingness to be transformed to a higher consciousness filled with love and joy and gratitude and in freedom. Know that this word has come to you to be lived out, expressed and embodied by you. This is what God is calling you to be. I want to say thank you. I am your sister in prayer, possibility, and power. I appreciate you. I love you. And know that you are blessed and a blessing.